Good morning from this foggy, dreary, misty day in Tulsa. I might be in the minority, but I kind of like this weather. I mean, I wouldn't like to have this sort of weather all the time, but I do like having days like this occasionally. I don't know, it just makes me feel like making cozy meals, baking cookies. I don't know why. I just kind of like having days like this occasionally. Last night, we went to Ruthie's band concert and we got home just in time to have a late dinner and then everybody go to bed. So this morning, when I got up, I needed to get the house ready for the housekeeper. And if you're like me, or like I used to be years ago, whenever people would say they have a housekeeper, I'd be like, well, hoity-toity, look at you, you have a housekeeper. But it's not what I thought it was going to be, or at least I think it's not necessarily what everybody assumes it is, somebody who like cleans up your house and keeps your house clean all the time. In fact, before we moved here 5 years ago, when I was just a teacher and my husband was working in campus ministry, we actually made a little wiggle room in our budget to have a housekeeper who came every other week, and that's what we have now. And it's basically like having a reset of the house every 2 weeks. And back then, I would teach a few voice lessons here and there to help bring in a little extra money to pay for it, because I was working like 7 to 5 every single day I was out of the house, and we were obviously busy on Sundays as a clergy family. So on Saturday, you know, my husband was like, I don't want you to have to spend 6 hours on a Saturday or one day when we're not working cleaning up the house or doing all of these household chores, because a housekeeper could actually come in when we're out of the house and get it done twice as fast and do it twice as thoroughly as I could with everybody running around me, you know? And the thing about it is, the housekeeper doesn't declutter. She doesn't keep up with the day-to-day. She doesn't do my laundry. She doesn't reorganize things. I have to actually tidy things up in order for her to be able to come in and do her job, like cleaning the bathrooms and sweeping and mopping the floors and doing the dusting for me, changing the sheets. But none of that can happen if I'm not actually keeping house in the interim, you know? So it's kind of nice because it gives me a deadline. Like, I have to have things picked up. I have to have those gifts wrapped and the wrapping things put away. I have to have the laundry done. I have to have the sheets through the wash. I have to have the clutter house in between the times when she comes every 2 weeks. And I don't know why in the past I have felt the need to defend that. I guess because some people might see it as a frivolity or like it's something that I should do, but it gives me some margin in my life. If that is something that you can afford, if you have the wiggle room in your budget to do that, then I say go for it. So the house is ready and they were there ready to work their magic when I left. And now I'm getting ready to head into Panera and I'm gonna take my computer in and do a little bit of work. I've got some catch up to do for YouTube and sending emails, working on work projects, and I don't know, tell me if I'm odd. You know, if you are somebody who works from home, let me know in the comments if this is something you can relate to. Sometimes it is actually easier for me to be productive outside of my house. Even though it's great to have the flexibility of working from home, sometimes I actually need to go somewhere else, like to the church and work in my husband's office, or to Panera when it's not busy and I'm not going to be taking up a table that they need, or Starbucks. You know, just going somewhere else so that I'm not distracted by all of the things going on in the house. Sometimes I can actually get more done, especially when it's computer work, if I'm not sitting in my own house. Is anybody else like that? Is it just me? I finished up at Panera. I'm so glad I did that. I got a lot of work done. And now I'm walking into the grocery store, which is sort of an occupational hazard, I guess. I feel like I am walking into the grocery store a lot of days, but I'm at my local grocery store Reusable because I'm on the hunt for something specific. What I have been looking for is frozen cheese tortellini, like the kind that I buy at Walmart all the time and use in various videos. If you watch my channel, you see me use it a lot. I haven't been able to find it in Walmart, at least in any of the Walmarts where I shop, because I probably shop at 4 or 5 different ones that are kind of in the vicinity of where I live. I haven't seen it in a couple of weeks. It's been out. They didn't have it at Aldi, but they've never really had it at my Aldi. I think I found it one time. Mostly they just carry the cheese ravioli. So today I went into research to see if they had any, because I know that their store brand Best Choice, there's usually a frozen cheese tortellini, and they did not have any. But what they did have is this, which is a bite-sized cheese ravioli. And everywhere I've been, they've also still had the tortellini in fresh packages, like the Buitoni brand, or I think there's another brand of fresh tortellini, and I've also bought it in the vacuum sealed packages at Aldi. And I'm not super worried about it because just like other shortages we've witnessed in the past couple of years, I feel like this one will probably correct itself in due time. But I am working on another capsule meal plan, as I have mentioned several times in my last few videos, and cheese tortellini is one of the ingredients that I'm using. So I'm starting to panic because I want to be able to make that video and those recipes, but I'm also panicking because I'm like, what if people can't find cheese tortellini? Well, I mean, like, cheese ravioli would probably work, or just plain pasta in a lot of the places where I'm using it. But we're gonna make it work with this stuff, and I'll just have to write into the meal planner in the video, you know, some suggestions for substitutions in case it's not back, but surely it's coming back. Are you able to find cheese tortellini, frozen cheese tortellini in your area? Is it just me? Back home, and I have a few minutes before I've got to go pick the kids up from school, so I thought I would wrap a few more gifts. And wrap, I need to use that term loosely, because one of the things I'm doing this year is using a lot of reusable gift bags. Some of them I have purchased from Etsy, and some of them my mother-in-law made for me, or we have collected throughout the years as people have gifted them to us. And I'm just sort of gradually picking up a few more each year. And I'm still wrapping some packages. I tend to use brown butcher paper and then use like really cute bows and decorate with ornaments, which then I can reuse from year to year. But Ruthie this year has asked for a JanSport backpack, which, comment down below if you were a child of the 90s and you carried a JanSport backpack. I wish I had saved all of my wardrobe, all of my shoes, bags, purses from the 90s, because it's all back in style. And believe it or not, the best deal that I could find on a JanSport backpack was actually at the JanSport website, not at Amazon, not at any of the sporting goods websites or department stores. The best deal, the best sale prices, discounts, free shipping was at JanSport. And I was able to get her a super cute backpack and a new lunch bag that actually attaches to the backpack for $50 shipped. It was under $50 shipped, tax, everything. So I am wrapping that up right now. Done. And then the other thing I did this year that I wanted to do for my children is get them personalized stationery, because we are always encouraging them to write letters to family members and to friends. We of course encourage them to write thank you notes, but especially in the summertime, we want them to write letters because it helps them keep their, you know, writing skills while they are out of school. But also my kids like to get mail, and we tell them if you want to get letters in the mail, you need to send letters in the mail. So I got some personalized stationery from Zazzle. This is a great time of year to order that kind of thing because a lot of people are running sales on print items for Christmas. And I made sure that I got the lined kind. I got some that was lined for Kenna and Brick, and then I got this really cute cats on a bookshelf design for Ruthie. I also picked up some thank you cards at Dollar Tree and just some standard envelopes. And in order to make this a little bit more exciting, especially for the littles, I got some scented pencils and pens and some scented stickers that I'm gonna stick in it as well, so that they'll have something fun to open up with it also. I also picked up these Picasso tiles, the magnetic marble run set for Brick and McKenna to share. By the way, I will try to leave some links in the description box for some of the things that I have mentioned, but this is something that I will wrap with brown paper and with a big bow, because it's a nice, easy to wrap box. It's just a regular old rectangular box. Some of the more awkward shaped things are the things that I'm putting into the bag, so I don't have to hunt down boxes for them. And the things that are easier to wrap that already come in really, you know, standard size boxes, that's what I'm using the brown paper for. Whew, okay, the day is getting away from me, you guys. We're about to be vlogging in the dark. I just took Brick to swim practice. My first trip back and forth to the aquatic center of 3 this evening. And I ran by the chiropractor. I've been going to the chiropractor for a couple of months. I've always been kind of on the fence as to the effectiveness of that. I'll just be honest, but I'm trying it. I've had like some neck, back, hip issues. So I just thought I would try it. My husband thinks that it has worked wonders for him in that area. And now I'm getting gas, and then I've got to go home and run Ruthie to swim. And then I'm going to come home and cook dinner, and I'm filming it. I'm kind of rethinking what I'm filming. I had outlined some videos for this month, but my last video that just went up yesterday is not performing super well. It's struggling a little bit, and I don't know, it just has me rethinking, okay, what do people want to see right now? What would be helpful right now? And I know for me, because we're always busy, it seems like, but December is a special kind of busy for families. So I know like I could use some quick meals this week, and I thought maybe I would film like a 10-minute meal or a 15-minute meal video or something. So I'm kind of exploring that. I've got something I'm gonna throw together tonight. I think it's gonna be a queso chicken skillet. What I'm shooting for tonight. That'll be fast, quick, tasty, hopefully. Whenever I'm just throwing stuff together, I'm always like, okay, please let this work out. Please let this work out. Okay, friends, dinner definitely worked out. I think it's delicious. So glad it came together. Hopefully this is going to go in a video. I'm gonna have to come up with the rest of the concepts, but that's sort of the way it works sometimes around here. I sort of fly by the seat of my pants, but this one, delicious. Another day, another trip to the bread. The Panera bread for my Sip Club coffee. I just dropped Ruthie off at the church for Second Saturday missions, and now I'm heading back home to pick up Daniel and the kids because McKenna has a basketball game today. So we're in the car on the way to McKenna's basketball game, and we've got to have a conversation about Christmas music. So I have this playlist that is made up of Christmas songs and Christmas albums that I listened to as a kid. That Harry Connick album that was really popular in the 90s, When My Heart Finds Christmas. The Amy Grant album that was really popular, not her first Christmas album, I think it was her second one, the one that has Breath of Heaven and Grown Up Christmas List. And then going back farther, I have some stuff from the 80s. Some Dolly Parton on there and some Alabama Christmas. A couple of years ago, my husband insisted that we add this particular Christmas song, and I think I've talked about it before in my Christmas vlogs. I had never heard it. It's called Kentucky Homemade Christmas. It's just another homemade Christmas in Kentucky. Has anybody heard it? Comment down below. It's Kenny Rogers. And listen, I like Kenny Rogers. In fact, some of the songs on this playlist are from Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, A Christmas Together. But this song, I mean, I just want to like go find that guy and find and buy the dolly in the window for his 13-year-old daughter who's been dreaming of it for half her life. That's like one of the lyrics. I am just finishing up a walk on this somewhat lazy Saturday afternoon, which I'm grateful to have with all of the hustle and bustle. I mean, we could have plugged something in here like, you know, hosted somebody for dinner or gone out with friends, and my husband and I are like, let's just stay home. I just finished up a fat nap, which felt fantastic, and I left the crew back at the house watching Catch Me If You Can. My husband has been trying to watch some movies. Well, we've both been trying to watch some movies with Ruthie, who's really into like pop culture movies, music, books, everything. Some movies that were you know, popular when we were teens in college. They watched Forrest Gump the other day. That was one of them that they've watched. They're going to watch eventually my husband's favorite movie of all time, Shawshank Redemption. That's on the list. And Catch Me If You Can is kind of a little bit of a Christmas movie if you've ever seen it. I think it ends at Christmas time. There's like Christmas trees in the movie. So they're watching that. And yeah, I'm just enjoying this nice walk on this cloudy fall day, walking through the leaves, and we'll see what else the day brings us, but probably not much, which actually is very welcome. I'm remembering now why I don't do as much vlogging, and that's because I'm not always very good at it. If you remember, back when I used to do more of this, I used to often end my vlogs the next day or even the day after. I think it's like 4 days since I started this vlog, and I've pieced together footage from all of those days. So last night we just had a nice relaxing evening. We played some games, ate some delicious food. I tried a new kind of ice cream. The kids talked me into getting the Bluebell peppermint bark ice cream. What did you think, Ken? I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty good. We're walking into the church now, so I'll catch you guys later.